Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-February 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Pisces collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Pisces, gang? In mid-February, we're creeping right on up to Pisces season. It's almost birthday time. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces in mid-February. What's the vibe? What's the energy? And yeah, I hope you all had a very happy Valentine's Day, my friends. I hope you like my little heart background here. You know, I like to stay seasonal. And we have the woman to match the background. We have the femme fatale. She did show up for one of the earth signs this week. And I always say with her, it's a double-edged sword because there's certain aspects to this card that's so beautiful, so strong, so powerful. But there is a level of temptation or potential danger even. If you look at the symbolism, I'm sure you could pick up what I'm putting down when you look at the deeper aspects, but she can be great. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about it. So we see this lovely lady all decked out in red. She's holding a red rose, little red bird flying right next to her, and we got these Venus flytraps along the bottom. Now, we'll start with the positive, since, you know, I like to be optimistic. Femme fatale to me is a very, very strong divine feminine energy. Remember, we're not going full gender specific here, but she is a strong divine feminine energy. I always say she reminds me of the Queen of Wands. So she's like a beautiful, magnetic, sexy, confident type of energy, and that's what we like. So for a lot of Pisces, hey, maybe you feel like you're getting a little extra pep in your step. If you've been feeling a little down, maybe you'll start feeling up. This is a card that has a ton of vitality. There's something about the femme fatale that I find extremely alluring. But when we dig into the deeper aspects of the symbolism, remember, every rose has its thorn. All the Venus flytraps, they secrete a sweet like honey smell to attract insects. So there is something that spirit might want you to be cautious about. Whether it's a situation, whether it's a person where it's like, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Maybe I'll jump right in. No, spirit just wants you to like keep an eye or just be cautious with someone or something, because it's very alluring to me. Like there's a magnetism to it. So we're going to let her chill right there. I mean, if you're feeling good and confident, even better. Well, let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Pisces, gang. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It felt pretty good to me. The last 2 weeks had a nice energy coming in for Pisces. The last week's reading was titled An Explosive Wind. There's a lot of fire energy, similar to the femme fatale, and it felt like something going well. So if that hasn't happened for you, I always say winds come in all different shapes and sizes, right? Like sometimes it could be monetary, interpersonal, maybe you had a few really good days, but that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Pisces. What do we got here in mid-February? You can't make it up. Queen of Wands. And we just went on a whole little speak or lecture that she reminds me so much of the Queen of Wands. And I even think in the other reading, one of the earth signs, same thing happened. We got the femme fatale and the Queen of Wands. It might have been Virgo. Don't quote me on that. But, I mean, beautiful. It could be really good for a lot of you. Or us, rather, right? You know, I'm a Pisces rising. Let's get 2 more here. There's an intensity here, my friends. Okay. So we have the Tower right next to it. And we have another Pisces power card. I'm not nervous about this Tower. I'm not. When it popped out, I'm like, yeah, there's just a lot of energetic intensity. And if you are very prone or energy sensitive, like you're probably going to feel this, but I think it could be channeled in a really positive way. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, yeah, we got a lot happening and a lot going on, Pisces. So hopefully this is all good and can be channeled for good. But I always like to look at the elements first because it tells me how the energy moves, how it flows, and the areas of life that could be important. And the big thing showing up is water and fire. Those are the big ones. And even though the tower looks like fire and brimstone, it's actually water, which is your power element, your power zone, your comfort level. So it doesn't really make me nervous right now, to be honest with you, even though the tower can be like, oh, it's super intense. But when it comes to water, that's the internal realm. That's the emotional world, like your inner self. So sometimes it can represent people or things that you care deeply for. Maybe you're a little more sentimental or tender than you normally are when there's a lot of water in the spread. Now, for other signs, they might feel a little uncomfortable when there's a lot of water energy. Pisces is right at home, right? It can represent creativity, artistic impulses. So any sort of expression or self-expression is highly favored when there's a lot of water. The only downside to water energy is that it's always ebbing and flowing. It's like here and there, back and forth, in and out. So we'll keep a close eye on it. Then we have the fire in the front, which is what we had last week. So fire is the realm of action, the actions we take, the actions other people take, the actions we want to take. Think of energy levels, vitality. So whether you're feeling high, or low, or up and down, it could be a mixture of both. But to me, I see the Queen of Wands, I think, or the fire element, I think of passion, drive, desire. So it's usually good. The only downside could be a little explosive. So you see what I'm saying? We got her, which could be a little intense. We got the tower that can damn sure be intense. And then even the Queen of Cups, softer, but also intense. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we got the Queen of Wands, and we don't have to do too much of an explanation with her because she fits a lot of the similar archetypes to the femme fatale that we had in the very beginning. Now, for some of you, this could be a fire sign or fire placements you might have. I know a lot of Pisces have some Aries. I do too. And if this isn't a fire sign you're connected to, remember, it's not gender specific. Queens represent the internal aspect of the suit. So when I see her, just like I was saying about the action, the passion, the drive, the desire, she is a card of that internal burn. And I always say it's intense, but if it can be focused in the right direction, like this could be a powerful tool in your toolbox. If you've been feeling down, if you've been a little more tired than usual, this is an energy that's like revitalized. Like it's a nice upward shift in energy. So I like it. Just like the femme fatale, she's like beautiful, bold, confident, sexy type of energy. Now, when we look at the downside of the Queen of Wands, hopefully you're being kind to yourself because this is also a card about how you view yourself. So are you treating yourself nice? Do you look at yourself in a good light? I mean, no judgment if you don't at this point for whatever it is you're going through. But remember, she is the card that revolves around self-confidence, for better or for worse. So we'll look at her. And again, the fact that she does have fire, I mean, it makes her a little unpredictable, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Tower. Dun, dun, dun. People get all nervous when this card pops out. I don't. Right? It's just a card. It's just energy. Energy's always flowing and changing. Now, as far as zodiac signs, this one connects to Scorpio. So again, if you have Scorpio placements, if you're connected to one, this could just be it. But whenever I see the Tower, I try not to look so much at the scary symbolism. I just think of an energy of shock, an energy that's super intense, an energy that comes out of nowhere. So can it represent endings? Sure. Can it represent hitting the reset button? Absolutely. But this is also a karmic energy where it's more so big picture. So is the energy shocking? Yeah, damn right it is. But that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. And that's something I always say whenever I see a tower. Not every tower is a bad tower. So we will investigate further. And again, it does have those karmic universal archetypes happening here as well. And ever since these cards came out, I feel the intensity, but it's not really concerning me. And I like to go by intuition a lot. Now, on the back end, we have Pisces power card right here. We got the beautiful Queen of Cups. Now, if this isn't you, another Pisces or water sign, remember the queens represent the internal aspect of the suit. So we have the emotion suit with the queen. So it's like a double down of that emotional, watery type of energy. So again, if there's any sign that can handle it, it's Pisces. Now, in my simplistic style, if it could tell us something that's coming towards you, the way you might be feeling. This could be you catching the creative bug. So I highly suggest that, especially if you're feeling all these intense energies, that you might need to get it out in some sort of creative way. I like the Queen of Cups. Like, she's nurturing, loving, caring. She could represent mother figures. The only downside to the Queen of Cups is sometimes she can suppress. Sometimes she can push things down, down, down until they erupt. So, like, just watch out for that, because she can be prone to just like keeping her feelings to herself or just being quiet. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Pisces. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that beautiful Queen of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get this Queen of Wands. And now that I think about it, while we get this card out, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a positive tower in the Pisces card. So, like, if something hasn't popped up yet, to me, it's like not a matter of if, but when. And we'll talk about that when we get to the tower. Okay, this is good. This is like great for manifesting, great for choices too. So we have the Seven of Cups in the upright. This to me feels like an energy that's like pumping itself up, or like coaching itself in some sort of way. So again, if there's something where you're like, I don't know about this, or you're feeling down about it, you definitely have the capability to like talk yourself into feeling the best way possible. It's all about perspective, right? With a lot of things, it's like, all right, well, how are you looking at it? How are you looking at it? How are you framing it? What angle are you viewing this from? So when I see the Queen of Wands with the Seven of Cups, sure, could this be big offers and opportunities coming in, multiple paths opening up for you? Absolutely. So this is great for offers and opportunities, whether they're emotional or even career based. But for another portion of you, it's like, yeah, I got my whole life ahead of me. Like, yeah, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. It's like I'm talking myself up. So for some of you, that might be advice, like starting the day by talking about how beautiful you are, how perfect you are. Like, talk yourself up in an extreme sense. That's how this feels, especially with the Seven of Cups. Now, the downside, or I don't even want to call it a downside, the Seven of Cups can sometimes be in its mind a little too much. And again, as someone with Pisces placements, I know we're always there, right? We love the dream world. We love the world of imagination. So this isn't a bad thing in a Pisces reading. Just watch out for the overthinking. That could come up. Um, but yeah, to me, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So for a portion of you, this could be offers and opportunities lining up for you. But there is this energy about talking yourself up, centering yourself, prioritizing yourself, and like really, really talking yourself up. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, I mean, I like the energy I'm feeling. Like, it feels intense, but I like it. Let's go in on the tower. Why is the tower here for Pisces, please? Thank you. Yeah, and there it is. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the upright golden opportunity, just like I've been seeing for weeks now. Like, if it hasn't shown up yet, Pikes, like there's something in the ether that's just going to come in out of the blue. It's like, to me, it feels like a game changer of some sort. Now, aces, I always say they represent offers and opportunities. So that's the second time consecutive, not to mention what I've been seeing for weeks now, that there's just this beautiful energy en route for the Pisces collective. Now, does that mean this whole thing is perfect? No. I mean, the tower with the Ace of Pentacles, this could be a shocking talk of some kind, a shocking message or conversation that like completely comes out of the blue. And it's like, damn, where did that come from? So don't be surprised if you have some very interesting conversations, talks, or messages coming in with this. But to me, on the more intuitive sense, when we line it up with what we've been seeing, um, I have to put it in the win victory category, or offer an opportunity. And it's like just completely out of the blue. So it could be something that you weren't even thinking about or even trying for. It kind of just shows up. So let's keep moving. I mean, it feels very claimable to me, my friends. Let's see what the Queen of Cups has. Let's see if I could stay as confident when we get over to her. So why is the Queen of Cups here for Pisces? It's just been this intensity the whole entire reading. Okay. Yeah, I do think a lot of you will subconsciously tap into that. So we do have the Eight of Swords in the upright, and depending on your level of energetic sensitivity, this could either be like something you could just brush off, or it's going to be something that like you're going to need to distract yourself. Like that's another thing I'm picking up here, Pisces, because the Queen of Cups with the Eight of Swords, it's like I'm nervous about something, but I can't let them know I'm nervous, or I'm nervous about something, but I can't speak it. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of this is external energetic input. Where, again, if you're empathetic, if you feel the energy of those that you really care for, the ones that you live around, or whatever it might be, it's like energy from the outside affecting my internal space. Which, again, as humans, we are prone to do that from time to time. It just feels a little extra pronounced. So your energetic sensitivities, it does feel heightened. So all this sensitivity that I'm feeling and all this stuff that's about to pop up, I think for a lot of Pisces in the very short term future, it's like you feel it, but it's hard to categorize. Right? Like, you know how sometimes you have a feeling, but you can't tell what it is? Like, I feel something, but I can't tell what it is. That's how this feels to me. Now, again, the Eight of Swords, it can also be an overthinky card, just like the Seven of Cups. Could it represent nervousness, anxiety? Sure. I mean, if you're stressing about something or even someone's stressing about you, yeah, it could be anxious, nervous, but I don't think that's the main takeaway from this reading this week, honestly. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So overall, I think it's pretty good. Even though we have a tower again, I think it's a good one. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we got the Queen of Wands with the Seven of Cups. Beautiful. Offers opportunities opening in front of you, which I think is great. So much potential, infinite potential. And there's also this energy about talking yourself up, putting yourself on a pedestal of some kind. So whether you do it daily, whether you do it every now and then, it's like be kind to yourself or like prioritize yourself. Watch out for the overthinking. In the center, we have the Tower with the Ace of Pentacles. So again, like, sure, could this be a shocking talk or message? Yeah, but at the same time, this feels like, again, the offer opportunity that just comes in out of the blue, surprisingly, unexpectedly, shockingly, whatever damn words we want to use, it feels good to me. On the back end, we have the Queen of Cups with the Eight of Swords in the upright. Energetic sensitivity could be extra heightened, which is saying a lot because usually Pisces is very in tune with the energies of other people around them and stuff like that. So just know, I also feel this thing where it's like my intuition's telling me something, but I can't quite categorize it. So some of you might be like the calm before the storm. Just watch out for the overthinking and just having a place to put all this intense energy. So, yeah, please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. But get your one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Pisces? What is in the shadows? Hey, we got another Pisces power card. We got our good pal, the Knight of Cups, rolling in here. So again, if this isn't you or another water sign, Knights represent action and also communication. So when we have this here, remember the offer opportunity, but also a talk that could come out of the blue. Knight of Cups in the shadows can absolutely represent that. So you might be having some very interesting combos. This is an energy that seems to be moving your way. Now, I generally like the pace of the Knight of Cups, but this does tie into that little warning we had here on the back end with the Queen of Cups, because all the Cups court cards are highly energetically and psychically in tune. So when I see him in the shadows, it's like I feel something in the air. I feel something coming, but I can't place it. I don't think it's a bad thing. If that does ring true for you and that does resonate, to me, it doesn't feel like a bad omen or warning. To me, it's more like energetic preparation for a breakthrough potentially. The big downside, shadow side of this Knight of Cups, watch out for people that are really slick talkers. This could also be an energy that like plays with emotions sometimes to make you feel some kind of way. But we're just going to leave it at that. So Pisces, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The February subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could have a little chat. My February calendar is up, so go check that out. They usually go pretty quick. But for the February subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice different style this month. We're doing a winner's choice. So the winners, which will be 3, will have their choice of the Tarot of the Owls, the Gilded Tarot Royale, or a handmade crystal pendant from my shop, mastermetaphysics.com once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards we saw in this week's reading, which one caught your attention the most, whether it really inspired you or hit you right in your feelings. Anyone that stood out to you, and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.